Welcome into the SIMO Sports Edition of Hawks Nest. We have a lot to get into today. Football's on the road for their final game. Baseball's going to Murray State. Softball going to SIUE. I'm Clay Harrell, joined by Leon Miller. And Leon, let's go and jump right into football. Last game of the year. Yeah. They're riding a 2-game win streak. Playoffs are probably out of the picture at this point. How important is it to finish the season on a good note and just going into next season?
Well, it's important for the guys that are seniors on the team, especially, those guys have played hard throughout the season. The season didn't end the way that they wanted it to. So the best thing that they could do is, the team as a total scored over 21 points in the last 2 games. Keep being consistent with the scoring. I believe, you get your seniors a chance, opportunity, go out there and showcase their abilities, because that's really what you want to look forward to. And for next season, you just don't want to come in on a bad note. You want to have the morals high and everything. So I think that, just getting the playing time for those seniors is the important thing at this point.
Yeah, I mean, last week you get a win over UT Martin to make it 2 straight. And I think just ending your season winning 3 in a row is something you can probably feel pretty good about.
Yeah, because they had that confidence as a team coming into the season. And, I don't believe that they lost any of it. They still think that they're a high-caliber team. So ending on that 3-game streak would be, highly beneficial.
What do they have to do to get a win this weekend at Tennessee State?
Well, it's like I said, they've been scoring efficiently. So if they could continue to score over 21 points, I think if they put up 21 or anywhere over that they'll be able to beat Tennessee, and it won't be as hard as it has to be.
I think their defense has really kind of stepped up a bit. I know that the fourth quarter UT Martin, it was a tight game there for a while. I mean, you saw the defense kind of step up. Mm-hmm. You've seen it at home a couple of times. So I think, like you said, especially against Tennessee State, if their defense steps up, I think they should be able to get away with maybe even scoring 14, 21 points to get out of there with a win.
Yeah, and the defense always steps up, so I don't think that's going to be any issue.
Yeah, 100%. So we'll see what football has in store, see if they can end the year on a 3-game win streak. Let's go ahead and move over to baseball now. Tyler Wilbur, 3 home runs, 22 RBIs on the year. Yeah. He just won OVC Player of the Week. They got a tough series, though. They're playing the top dog in the OVC right now in Murray State this weekend. What's an expectation? Do you try to, it's 2-1's always your goal, right, to win a series. Yeah. But when you're playing a top team, maybe just even trying to steal a game.
Yeah, so they want to absolutely at least try to steal one of those games, out of the 3, get at least 2 in one. Tyler, as for Tyler, he's not any regular to the OVC Player of the Week. He's always been good at hitting the ball. I think he's going to produce big time for the team. I think for the baseball team, it comes in at keeping the runs low. If we could keep the runs low, we have a higher chance of winning games. The defense has been a big issue with our baseball team, the pitching. Finding that consistency is what's going to keep us, on pace to win those games against Murray.
Yeah, you mentioned, Tyler Wilbur, obviously we said had 3 home runs, 22 RBIs, but Wade Stouse leads the team in home runs. He has 6, and he's been a guy that's been hitting for a lot of power this year. And I think if you can find some power, other than Stouse, Wilbur, Connor Basler's driving in runs as well, I don't see any reason you can't take 2 or 3 from this Murray State team.
Yeah, and all 3 of those guys have been producing for like a few years for the team. Those aren't, like I said, those aren't any rookies. The guys are going to produce on a hitting level. We just got to keep the pitching at a consistent level.
Well, baseball's taking on the top dog in the OVC. Yeah. The top dog on the softball side, no surprise. It's SIMO as usual. Yeah. They're going against SIUE, who is 7-10 in the conference, 7-17 overall. I think we would both agree it's going to be a pretty good sweep for SIMO.
I left the broom at home again. It's going to be a sweep. I think it's going to be a pretty good sweep for SIMO. The way that we've been scoring lately has been on a different level. I don't see any way that they'll be able to slow us down on the scoring level.
Yeah, last weekend they took 2 or 3 from Eastern Illinois, and Coach Mark Redburn after the game said he felt like they kind of beat themselves in Game 3. Yeah. And so I think this SIMO team is a team that will come out, maybe looking to play for something. They were riding a 10-game win streak, had that snap, so now they got to try to restart it. But Ashley Ellis, who is a regular on this show usually, 11 home runs, 31 RBIs. We're going to set the mark at 3.5 for home runs this week. And you taking the over or the under?
I'm taking the over. I'm telling you, I went to the series against Moorhead, and she hit in one of I believe it was last game of the series, 3 home runs in that game alone. So I got her, okay, let's do the math. She hit 3 home runs that game, 3-game series. I got 9.
9 home runs in one series.
I'm taking 9 home runs in the series.
Leon, if that happens, I will completely walk off this show. Yeah. I'm going to say she hits 3 on the mark. It's just you're playing on an away field, too. That's going to be my thing. You're away from home. I think she hits 3. I think SIMO gets out of there with the sweep, and they just keep on rolling through the OVC, getting ready for playoff time.
That's the important thing. As long as they get out of there with the sweep, she could hit 3-4-2-1. As long as they get out of there with the sweep, and produce as a team, that's all that they need for real.
Well, that's all we have for the SEMO Sports edition of Hawks Nest. Be on the lookout for the scores of all these games. For Leon Miller, I'm Clay Harrell, and we say have a good weekend.